Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Grave Time here on YouTube. My name is Christian Apple, and today we're in Pleasant Grove, California. Now you recently just saw the footage I just filmed here of one Peter Winkleman. Not a famous person, but definitely a key person in American history. Definitely someone who's established what we have here today, the cemetery. You see, Mr. Winkleman was originally from Switzerland, him and his wife Elizabeth, and they came here to the promised land, as I call it. And not only coming here from Switzerland, but coming here to Pleasant Grove. Even though it wasn't called Pleasant Grove at the time, but we'll get to that in a moment. You see, this land that I'm standing on right now is property of the cemetery, and next door is Pleasant Grove Elementary School. It was founded in 1863. When Peter Winkleman passed away, he gave up this land that he owned, not just to the cemetery, but also to the school. And you know, I want to acknowledge him for that. You know, he may not be a famous person, but he's definitely a key person in history, and definitely someone who really believes in education, was willing to give up his own land for the school. Now, as far as I know, there's no relics or anything that I know of on the grounds of the elementary school that is from 1863. But I do believe some of these buildings here might be from late 40s, early 50s. As I did attend this school, me and my brother both, I attended this school in 4th grade in the year, well actually, excuse me, the fall of 1991, and the spring of 1992. Only came here once. We had moved, could go back to the old elementary school, couldn't go to the new one because of overcrowding. So we had to be shipped out here on a school bus with a bunch of other kids. Took an hour to get here, took an hour to get home. And anywho, so I just think it's awesome when anyone's willing to sacrifice anything for education. And because we all need to learn something, we all need to learn something to better ourselves, to be functioning people in society. And Mr. Winkleman, not knowing how long this land would be here, you know, for future generations, but still was willing to sacrifice his own land for you and I, for our kids, and for future generations to attend. Now, just a little bit about this place. It's called Pleasant Grove. It wasn't always called Pleasant Grove. You see, back in the days of the gold rush, there were a lot of boom towns. And a boom town would be basically a place where people traveling through on a covered wagon or horses or whatever it may be, their form of transportation at the time, maybe they were on feet. And there'd be places all over the place called boom towns. And in a boom town, you would have a saloon and barber shop, a hotel, a place to eat, you know, maybe even a dentist, if there was a dentist at that time. Different key people in every boom town. And a boom town was just like a small town, you know, and it was a place for people to get goods and just have a place to go from, you know, relax or take care of business during their times of travel. Well, there happened to be a saloon here on the grounds of Pleasant Grove. Not necessarily here, but somewhere in the area there used to be a saloon. And that one day in that saloon there was a brawl that took out. Two guys had to duke it out. Well, one guy got the upper hand on the other guy, pinned him down, and got his thumb and gouged his eye out. Kid you not, he gouged his eye out. Now, what kind of guy does that? you can't fight any other way. You got to gouge a guy's eye out, huh? Anyways, so this area was called Gouged Eye. And then about sometime in 1880 something, the very first post office was established here in Pleasant Grove, or I should say Gouged Eye. I still think that's interesting. But anyways, Gouged Eye. Well, the new post office was called Pleasant Grove Creek. Now, as far as I know, there's no creek in the area. There might have been a creek at the time. It might have dried up, and people, you know, over time have probably built something over it or grown something over it, just like the saloon. It's not here today. I have no idea where it's at. Don't know, you know, where it was even at. I can't find that information, but I can only find what I'm able to tell you. And so a couple years after the post office was established, the people decide, you know what, let's call the town Pleasant Grove. and it's stuck. And not too many people who live in the area here know that the town used to be called Gouged Eye. But you know, it's not unusual for towns back in the day to be named after something weird. For instance, you go down to Placerville, you take Highway 50, you go east away from Sacramento, and you head towards Placerville. Placerville used to be called Hangtown. You know, they used to hang people there, and you know, it wasn't just, you know, they didn't just go out there and hang, you know, anyone. You know, there was a certain reason why they were hanging people. It was an established place to hang people. And obviously, you know, we live in politically correct times. We can't say that now. We can't. You know, you used to go through the town of Placerville or Hangtown. It used to be an effigy of a guy hanging. He's a white guy, a white dummy, not any other color, a white guy, and he was hanging there and around this building. But we can't have that because we live in a politically correct society that does not want the future to know about history. So thankfully, there's people like me who are going to cemeteries and telling you about the people that are buried there, whether they're famous or not. So anyways, Placerville used to be called Hangtown. Pleasant Grove used to be called Gouged Eye. Kind of interesting thing. Starting to get dark. This is my 5th visit here. Been trying to perfect this video. Don't like to ramble. I want to get straight to the point. So, anywho, thank you so much for watching this episode of Grave Time. Pay our respects to Peter Winkleman and thank him for this beautiful cemetery, and thank you for allowing a place for future education to take place here at Pleasant Grove Elementary School. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, Grave Time. You can try and Google it, you might find it. You can try it on YouTube. It's extremely hard to find this channel. And just last month, being August, I had 3 people subscribe to my channel. Where they found it, I have no idea. So, and I don't even know who they are. So, I thank you all, and I have more episodes coming soon. I love you all. God bless you. And I want to encourage everyone to get out sometime and go to the local cemetery and research the history that's there. You might be very shocked at what you might find.